Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome for the first female Chief Justice of the Navajo Nation, JoAnn Jayne.
Can you hear me? Thank you. Yad she ya JoAnn Jayne in shia. Tkapahin shle kenya ani bashichin. Twadini dashiche ado tkapahin dashanele. Twach a ade nasha. A adashia ho a. Good morning, brothers and sisters, and I mean that to the bottom of my heart, as we are all brothers and sisters here. I got a message from President Dr. Nygren, and he wanted to talk to me and said, sure, I will come and see you. And he gave an invitation to me to speak today to you, and I accept that blessing, I accept that gift that I was given. I am here on behalf of the Hashkeja Nahata. That is the tradition of the Navajo Nation. I'm so grateful. I would also like to correct that I am the second Chief Justice of the Navajo Nation, and a female Chief Justice. So President Nygren and Vice President Rochelle Montoya, thank you on behalf of the judicial branch for inviting us to be part of this event here today for the People's State of the Nation address. I would also like to recognize our speaker, Crystalline Curley, our speaker of the Navajo Nation 25th Council. I would like to also address all of the members of the 25th Council that I had the opportunity a year ago to swear in. And also at that time, I was very humbled to do that as well. Thank you to those who have come here today, those of you that are joining us from the state, from the federal, local governments that are here today, our chapter officials, all of our parents, all of our children, all of our royalty, everyone here, and those that are listening on video, on the transmission, the internet. Yeah, thank you very much. I wanted to start out with a short story here, and I wanted to start that talk with permission of the individual. A study was conducted in 1986 in Prescott, Arizona. The United States Forest Service and the University of Arizona School of Renewable Resources provided funding which was embarking on research and a study on pinion tree growth. And I will say that again, pinion tree growth, because we all love our pinions, right? So that study was about the relationship of the environment around it. This was a novel idea that was born by a Navajo student at the time who was attending the University of Arizona. And it was, well, I think that we should study the pinion tree because there are no studies about the pinion tree. And with that, the student went ahead and spent hours and hours collecting soil samples, collecting all of this information. And this was by the guidance of the University of Arizona and also the United States Forest Service. So both together and having put together a scientific study with statistical analysis and everything. So they put that all together. Okay, said Navajo student would go to Prescott, Arizona this certain time, get soil samples, get all of this together. Later on, having learned and being taught how to do soil analysis. And this was for the purpose of looking at the soil nitrate content. And I will get to a point on this. They were looking for nitrate content in the soil. And this is way out in Prescott, Arizona, very, very far from here. But nonetheless, a study had to be done. And so based on all of that information, gathering all the soils, going into a laboratory, and the student had to go in after learning from instructors, from scientists and so forth, to actually do the soil analysis. Chemistry came into play, flasks, soils, et cetera, and so the test that came back, and I want to share this, is that the test that came back, and these are soils that were gathered from underneath the canopy of a tree. That means where the tree grows. And so soils were taken from the soil there and then soil outside of the canopy. Statistical analysis was done, and guess what? And it's no surprise, but basically what had happened was that there was more soil nutrients, more of all of this nourishment that happened underneath the canopy versus outside of the canopy. And so the reason why I bring this up is because it is like that with us. It is like that with government. When we all work together under this canopy, if we all work together, the result of that is going to be nutrition. The result of that is going to be what we give to you, our Diné people. So that is a story that I wanted to share. And said student that did this study stands before you today as my role as the Chief Justice of the Navajo Nation, which is a great, great honor that our Nygren has bestowed upon me. But this story is not about me. This story is about what does the judicial branch and what does the legislative branch and what does the executive branch, what do we do together? Like the canopy, like the rain, like all of the nutrients in that tree, we have to work together. And we can do that. I will give you two examples of how government actually does work with each other. And sometimes it may not seem that way, but from day to day, we have this working relationship among the three branches. One of those is a project that's called Nygren. It's this integrated system where the council in previous times had made a decision on behalf of you and on behalf of the Navajo people that we would get together and share data. And that data would be computerized, and that data we can work together in. So that's called the Nygren project. It's the Navajo Nation Integrated Justice Information Sharing Project. And this is a collaboration between the Public Defender Services, Office of the Prosecutor, the Office of the Chief Justice, Social Services, and so forth. So I just wanted to relay that the branches do work together, and that sometimes that information is not shared with you, and I wanted to bring that up. And then the other one that's very, very important to the monsters that we're facing on a day-to-day basis, and that is the Diné Action Plan. The three-branch government is working together in terms of how do we uplift our people? What are we going to do for the negative that's been placed before us? How are we going to battle our missing and murdered relatives? How are we going to battle domestic violence? How are we going to battle suicide and all of these other these other monsters that we have? So I wanted to bring up those two samples because that is who we are as a government. I am so grateful on behalf of the Hashkeja Nahata, the judicial branch. We have before us Judge Victor Clyde. He's right here with us. He's a judge at the Winter Rock District. And I wanted to also, while I'm here, take the opportunity to thank all of the employees and workers in the judicial branch.